Right.
Oh, you make do.
Yeah. I'll remember it halfway through. So I'll share screen. Can you see that, Barry? Loud and clear.
Yeah, yes, yeah, no, yes, nice,
Right.
nice resolution on mine.
So it's all straightforward except for the misty bit. So how are we going to do that? So what I would recommend is that we do the sky. As you can see it with a little bit of cobalt blue there and grey added, and quite a lot of paper showing through. So we know how to do that. We paint down, and we don't have to follow this line on the left precisely, because we can paint over that bit of cloud. But we've got to be careful here. So to create this, we need to re-wet this area if it's not already damp, but we want it not too wet. And where we want this crisp line, we just dry that locally with a towel or a bit of tissue, just so that when we paint this, it will be nice and crisp. But below, it will still be a little bit damp, and we should get this fuzziness. The hill on the right, we need, it's similar, but the two areas are not so close together. So we need to dry the sky along this line so we can paint this crisp line here. And we need to wet this a little bit if it's not already wet, so that when we're painting the hillside, it just fuzzes in nicely. So the degree to which that is successful doesn't matter too much. In other words, if it really goes all fuzzy, it'll look fine, and if it's just a tiny bit, that'll look fine as well. The distant hill here under the cloud will treat in the same way. Make sure this cloud that we've painted is just damp, and as we paint the green, it will merge in. And as we come down towards the castle, we've drawn this castle fairly precisely, so we can paint up to the line. Because the castle is paler, then we need to be fairly accurate with the brushwork, especially down that right-hand side. To the left doesn't matter so much. So this is familiar territory for us. It's one of the shortcomings of watercolour. The pale colours can't cover the dark colours unless we use gouache, and you're on a whole new game there. I mentioned this variegated wash for the grass, and what do I mean by that? That will be just a fairly bright yellowy green, but just throw in a little bit of different colour, especially over to the right where it's a bit darker and browner. And let that dry, and we'll come back with the shadows and details you can see. So the reflections, we'll make more of those, because the proportion I suggest, they'll be taller than this. This is very much a panorama landscape. We can make it make the foreground a little bit taller, and also the sky. So the proportion, I'm just measuring now, the proportion I'm hoping for is 13 by 10.
13 by 10.
13 by 10, it's, well, if you've got 7 by 5, that's very similar.
Off now, but be back later.
All right, Barry. Bye, that was quick. Right. Let's see now. Oh, we've got 29, so we did have a good turnout.
Tony, hello.
yes.
Could I ask you, when you said 13 by 10, was
Yes.
that the size of the castle or the size of the actual whole?
Oh, the whole thing.
The whole thing?
The whole picture, because the proportion of the original is very much longer, and I don't know, it'd probably be about 13 by 8, something like that. So our painting is a little bit taller.
Okay, thank you.
So, what have we got?
That has to come up.
Right. Oh, Annie, you've got your microphone working.
Me?
No, it's another Annie.
Ah.
She's waving, but she's still quiet. Never mind. Never mind. Right. What do I do now? Mute all. Oh, I should check my camera first. So that looks good. I'm muting all. And we'll make a start. Right, so the water line is now just under a third up. Let's say between a third and a quarter. No great precision required. Our castle starts. Oh, let's see. I think it's on the halfway line. Just check that. 20. Just left of the halfway line. And it's not huge. It wants to stop about there. So I wouldn't worry about great precision. Right, there are a few windows, but Don't worry too much about getting everything spot on. Trees. I believe there's some sort of accommodation inside the castle. I was reading about it being the stronghold of the MacDonald clan. And they fell out with another clan. And they hated each other till the English came, and they all loved each other. Right, the hills. Again, no precision required. As long as it starts there, ends up here. Nice if it goes behind that little bit of chimney, whatever it is. So we just see a hint of the far hills in the centre. And the right hand hill just clips that chimney there. I think this is the skill of the photographer. It makes a good photo if the horizon is interrupted by the subject like that. Right, I don't think we need anything else. I'll just put this line, it's the only crisp part of the reflection there. So they line up nicely. So I'm just choosing the time when we start, trying to judge who's drawing, who's waiting. To get our little green flags out. I think we're good to go. Don't worry, if you're still drawing, you can catch up. Right. So I got cobalt blue. We'll just keep it neat. It's a nice bright blue we have, and we've got Payne's grey standing by. There isn't any other colour in the sky, I don't think. I'm just going to wet it, but not too much. It sounded a lot, but it's not. See how that looks. Don't forget these colours always dry paler. This is just, I've got two brushes. One's got the blue paint, one has got, at the moment, just water in it. So I'm just going over blue with clean water, just moving it all into position. Now I'm going to put a little bit of Payne's grey on the brush. That looks crazy dark, but as I say, it will dry paler. So I'm painting it through, ignoring the background. Three brushes now. Just want to soften that a little bit. So this mist that's coming down, or the low cloud, is got a bit of grey about it. So rather than leave it snow white, although this wisp coming sweeping down on the right is quite very pale, so leave that as paper. And then to the right, these clouds are a little bit paler. Oops. I'm just wondering if that is okay. So you can toy around, softening your edges with a wet brush or a little bit more paint, but bear in mind, once you lose all your white areas, you can't get them back again. Easily, anyway. What you can do is dry your brush and just lift out a little bit. Paint's great. It's not easily lifted. I'll just show you this in more detail. If you want to soften an edge, wet brush, not too wet. Just work at it like that. If you put too much water in, you'll get a bloom or a cauliflower. I suspect I'm getting one there already, so not a disaster, as long as it's not too big. So sometimes the crisp edges are nice, so just choose your own judgment. These are crisp, these are soft, and that's just the way it is up there in the clouds. This is a bit too sharp. Oh, you can't see that. Right. So what was I saying about this edge here? Sure, it's dry. It's always handy to have a couple of brushes doing various jobs. So I've dried it on the edge. Now I'm making sure underneath the edge is wet. Now this is sepia and a bit of Booker's green. It's a bit fierce, just toned it down a little bit. So here's my water. Sometimes I forget which brush has got what colour in. Window through the clouds there. If it doesn't bleed in nicely, just encourage it with a bit more paint. Now, underneath the cloud, we've also got a fuzzy edge. Wet that. Paint's going. This is a bit more green. And I've added a little bit of Naples yellow. Let's see how this looks. There's only a thin wisp here. Clouds is casting a shadow over this distant hill, but we'll come back and do that shortly. Painting around the castle in areas where I probably don't need to. It doesn't matter. Right. Very much paler than this, so I'm just taking a little bit out. A little bit patchy, that's good. So those shadows, this is sepia and blue. It's just a warm grey. Let's see how this looks. It's just a single shadow here. Right, that looks okay. There will be some, when it's dry, be some more features to put in. There's little tracks and rocks appear and some hollows. But we'll take a view on that later. So what colours are blue? I need this brush back, so I'll take the sky blue out of it. Let's do this hill now. So more sepia and a hooker's green. Water. Green. So it's a bit of a juggle this, because I've got to be wary of the castle getting in the way. Some streaks in this hillside. Mostly in shadow this, so it's quite dark. I've added a bit of blue. Some of the clouds here are quite dense, so not so fuzzy. Sorry, I'm running out of descriptive terms here. Too busy painting. That's quite nice, but I'll probably be cutting it up. So this green down here is much paler in the sun. So the green is paler, but if you look at the contrast between this green and the castle, it's immense. So not too pale for this green. And then this green in front of the castle is very bright. This green here has got quite a bluey tinge to it. There's some trees which are much brighter green, so I'll leave those alone. And the shadows created by the clouds falling down the hillside. Right, on this side, it's a lot easier. Bring out the paint. Focus green, more sienna. Bit more water. Let's get the paler colours on first. Some very pale areas. Let's get those in first. Now we can darken it down. Paints have dried out. This is burnt sienna. bit lumpy coming down this outside. This is all dry now, so I can create this crisp edge. I'm stroking these long shadows. Now this edge isn't dark all the way down. It gets a little bit of sun on it here. But here there's a strong shadow. So you're blocking out crop there. So let's isolate this tall chimney. No, it isn't actually a chimney, I don't think. This looks like one. So let's be careful painting here, because we can back paint around this ruin. Show it as a ruin. Tiny tree there. There's a couple of little trees. Let's finish this off. This green's a bit too bright. Putting some light red in. Light red is a good colour to add in to green that's too pale. It's a very powerful colour. It's pretty horrible on its own, but it's great for mixing in. Now I don't know how, I've got the same colour and two brushes here. What shall I do? So this is a muddy green. This is much brighter. A bit of water. Shouldn't turn away to myself here. I'm happy as a pig in muck. I'm really enjoying this. So I'm swapping between brushes, getting a little variation of colour. So these trees are much brighter green, so preserving that, painting up to them, not over them too much. Doesn't matter greatly to follow any rules here. Let's get the message over. Junta. Trying something. Just want to get the lie of the land. Gently pulling this towel over it to remove a bit of pigment. Not too much. Again. Right, so I've got some big contrast on that hillside, and if you look at the original, there is. It's a bit too much here. Okay. Right. These trees. Now a bit brighter. So I've added some cadmium yellow, a lot more water. These two are going to fizz together. Not too bad. Controlling the water is vital to any watercolour. So I didn't plan on putting any detail in this tree line. I'm hoping the paint itself will do the work. To come up to that with the dark side of the castle. A few little complications here. Some rocky outcrop. She's very pale. There's grass on the side of the castle, extremely pale, mostly yellow. Leaving a few white gaps for these pale stones that are showing through. Right down to the water's edge. Virtually a straight line. It just goes uphill there because the lock is tapering away to the right. Now these trees in the distance, the value is similar to the background, they're just slightly more green. So the solitary tree here is a much warmer colour. It's a little bit of cadmium orange. Lost my sharp edge now. Just want a dry edge along here. So that we can add some shadows under these trees. Really quite big contrast here. So these trees are still damp. So this is working nicely.
What colour are you using for the bottoms, please, Tommy?
Oh, right, I've created a very dark browny grey green with a load of mucky stuff. So it's a bit vague. So I've got hooker's green, sepia, and a little bit of blue as well. But it's, any dark browny green will do there well, I think.
Thank you.
I don't think I'd get a job at Windsor and Newton. So, describing their paint as the old mucky stuff. Now, I said I wasn't going to fuss with these trees, didn't I? So this is just clean water and a bit of trickery. This is a dry brush. I'm just creating some tree-like shapes. I think this is dry now. Yes. Right. So the castle, where it's in shadow, is extremely dark, and this is French ultramarine and sepia. So here we can use our negative painting skills to shape this little tree, which was looking a bit lost. And that's found. You've heard about lost and found edges. It's lost again. This wall is not as long as it should be on my castle. I have the Scottish Castle Society on my back here. So this turret has got a rounded shape. So I'm enlisting water again to get this right. Water. A little bit of warm grey. Join the two. Similar down here. Much smaller though. Oops. Now this ruined bit. It's a little bit tricky, so simplification coming up. So generally a warm grey. Which is paints a tiny bit of light red in it, but very, very small. It's more water than anything. And just a tiny bit. Could have some concentrations of value. And it will come a lot clearer when I paint the shadows. So a lot of inaccuracies here, but it's a picture that counts. Oops. Need to touch that. little turret here. Light red, so wicked. Just so that the stonework in the sun is not pure white. Appears so in places. Just adding a little bit of character here and there. So hard to know what's going on here, but there you go. I suppose I think I'll leave this. It might be okay just as it is, so I'll leave it for now and have a look at these reflections. So we've got a strong blue here, striking white reflection, and then fairly dark greens, but everything is in a vertical brush stroke. And that's super. So let's get rid of this light red. Have some French ultramarine. a bit of green added. There's a tree here. Forgot the tree. Green. So there is quite a slope to the reflection, going from upper left, lower right, and that reflects the slope of the tree, the hillside in the background. Now, the sky and the clouds are not in the original picture, so we've got to create those. And I'm hoping that's not too far off. Pale green. It's darker as we go across, stronger. So vertical strokes. A bit of Naples yellow thrown in there. And beyond that is the dark reflection from the background. Dark castle. That's the white turret. Chimney. And the dark hills. Water. Right, it's every man for himself here. It's getting rather abstract. Keep vertical strokes going. Now, as a counterpoint to all this verticalness, here's got a lovely horizontal line. Thank the Lord. There is a jetty here. Don't think we need it. Just adding to that dark shadow under the trees. Just rescuing this little tree. Oblivion. It's probably quite a big tree, actually. And just defining these distant trees again. This looks dark, it will dry a lot paler. It's getting dark. Oh, my. Right, I quite like the vagueness. I don't know if you've achieved the same, but don't spoil it with detail if you have. It's tempting to go and put storms and things. Don't overdo it. Sometimes vague is good. I think there's dark trees that are in the shadow of the, well, it must be from the clouds. There's nothing above it. But they will help define our trees to the front of them. There's a few features on this hillside. And shadow. It's quite dark up here. Look how dark this is. There's a little path running across. It's not just a continuous line. That wouldn't be good. So break it up. There are lines on the far hill, but I think that would be really pushing our luck. Leave that. Even this line looks a little bit odd. Give it some support. Toying with the idea of ripples. I'll just give it a try out down here. I can always cut this bit off. Now, if this was Loch Ness, it would be a prime candidate, wouldn't it? The water feature. Nearly finished.
That's very nice, Tony.
Thank
Can
you.
I check a couple of things, Tony? You know the curve effect on the castle. That's what, one dark color and one lighter color, and try to join them. Yeah,
Yeah. Water, Max.
just water, is it? And dark color.
Just water between the two.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you put the darker color first and then put water, is it?
It doesn't really matter. I put water on first, and the dark colour swims into it. But you've got to control it again with a damp brush, or else it'll just go straight across. So you've got to keep it under control.
And that looks nice. The other thing is, the two brushes that you use, two bigger brushes.
These?
Are they of the same size?
No, one's slightly bigger than the other.
Okay.
This one is new. This one's about 10 years old.
Yeah. That's a number 40 goat hair brushes, is it?
That's right, number 3 and 4.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, Vicky, let's look. Oh, that looks splendid, Vicky.
Oh, thank you. Better than last week.
Yeah, well, I can't remember last week. I
Oh, it was terrible.
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks lovely. Now it's focused. I can see it's really good. Well done, Vicky.
Thank
And Lindsay,
Yeah.
that's come into focus as well. Splendid. Oh, really
Yeah,
good.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Particularly enjoyed the sky and the cloud bit.
I did as well. I've had a great time. Yeah, Charlotte. Oh, bring closer, Charlotte. Closer. Keep coming. Right, now that's lovely.
Thank you.
Really good.
Of my castle looks a bit dark.
The castle?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's quite recognisable, and no, it looks all right to me. Super.
Thanks.
The reflections are really good and everything. Nicely done.
Thank you very much.
And Susan, straighten it up, Susan, and a bit closer. Right. I would just work on the reflection with a wet brush, up and down, send it backwards, and you could lift out where you want some paler colours, like the reflection of the turret on the right, and things like that, just so that the reflection corresponds a little bit more with the castle. But the background, lovely. Okay. All right, Anna. Oh, that looks good. That's a nice misty looking scene, Anna. Done
Yeah,
well.
I enjoyed doing that one. It was nice. It's good.
Yes, really good.
Thank you.
And you haven't bothered with too much detail, and good for you. It's paid off nicely.
Mhm.
Andrea, a bit closer. This is quite a small watercolour that's looking rather lovely. Super. Yeah, well, a bit short of green, Andrea, and you could have the green trees with the corresponding smaller green trees on the right, just to bring a little bit of more green into it. But looks good as is. It's up to you. Anyone else? Let me see. Oh, Liz.
Yeah, I need to tidy my castle up a bit. It's,
Bring it closer, Liz. It looks all right. Straighten it up, Liz, so it's flat to the camera. Oh no, I like that, Liz. I like that.
A bit messy. A bit easier than last week.
Yeah. We've got some shocking feedback going on.
I think it might be me.
Was that you, Victoria?
Well,
Causing
it's
trouble
trying
again?
to be me, but I'm failing miserably because for some reason, I'm not
All
very
right.
good at my iPad.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Victoria. Let's look, Bev. Oh, lovely. Bring it closer, Bev. Look at that. It's like coming out of the mist. It's super.
Nice. Very good.
It's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yes, well done.
Nice.
All right, Lynn. Bit closer, Lynn. Oh, it's your finger. I wondered what that was on the. Okay.
Monster.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's nice, that, Lynn.
It's a bit bright in places, but
Yes, it is. The trees to the left of the castle, they want darkening down a bit
Yeah.
too vivid. But no, it's
nice.
well,
Nice to... Thank
nicely
you.
done. Oh, Victoria, I can see it now.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Yes. Right, it looks complex.
It's a bit too complex, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you've got more going on than you need, and you can smooth that out if you have a mind.
Just by putting a wash over the lot.
Wash, well, selectively here and there. You've got your wet brush in one hand and your towel in the other, and just take out some of the details you don't need.
Are you meaning more in the reflection or
No,
every-
no. I was thinking of the hillsides.
Yeah.
They're very, very contrasty. They want smoothing out. The reflections are more up and down with your brushwork, I think. To do,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it's worth a little bit of effort, Victoria. It looks well.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, Sally, you look tentative. Let's look. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, the mist down the hillside shrouding is super. Really nicely done.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I would darken down the hill to the left of the castle, and
This side.
no, to my left. Sorry, that side. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks very plain. It could have a bit of character
Okay.
created with some dark, sort of browny greens with a bit of blue thrown in here and there, just to create some interest on that.
Yeah.
Let's look, Lindsay. Right, good reflections I see straight away. I think that's pretty well done, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Yes. It looks quite minimalist, and all the better for it.
Well, I was just struggling to keep up most of the time.
I know. Sorry, it's you've got to keep going once you start. It's a nice painting, that, Lindsay. The clouds and everything about it are pretty good.
Thank you.
Is anyone hiding over the page? No. Janice. Let's look, Janice. Right. Okay. I'll come back to you, Janice. Rena. Looks very green.
Where's Rena's?
It's very green, Rena. You could do with a few more earth colours
Yes.
and
The
try
castles.
and differentiate between the two hills. The far distance is lovely. The castle is requiring a bit more contact,
Yes.
but I'm guessing you've not finished, so that's
No.
fine.
No.
It-
I
it's-
enjoyed lifting out the cloud was fun.
It's lovely. Yeah, you've done a good job there, Rena.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Right, Janice.
Sorry, apologies.
It's okay. All right. Now that's a lively looking scene, and the clouds and the contrast are rather good.
Thank
No.
you.
I can't really fault that, Janice. It looks lovely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Have I seen what I've got to see? Anyone else have missed? I don't think so. No. Okay. Let's have a think about next week. Oh, Annie. Sorry, Annie. Oh, that's really good, Annie. Bring it. Keep it still and bring it closer. Yeah, you've got a good effort there, Annie, and it may not be finished. That's up to you. There's a strange reflection from that tree. That one's ironing out. See what I mean? To the right. Yes. Yeah. Wet brush and
Tony?
towel. Yes.
I got to go now. Sorry about that.
Oh,
Okay,
Nancy. Hello there.
Okay, I'll leave you now. Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Okay. Right. We're done. Let's have a look at next week. So, share screen. Hope you can see that. So what I'm thinking, can you see that, Victoria?
Yes, the water
Okay.
lilies.
Water lilies.
That's good.
Well, we're going to have to confront them, aren't we?
Well, let's have a look. There is something else I had in mind. We could do these flowers.
They're both nice.
Oh, this.
So the water lilies.
What
I've
about
never
this?
tried water lilies.
Oh,
I've
no.
done flowers. but water
Washing on
lilies-
the line.
Washing on the line in Armitage Bridge.
No.
No.
Rather complex, so we'll keep it simple. We could do the lilies.
Yes. yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's do the lilies.
let's do
Yeah.
the lilies.
Yeah, the only problem is it really needs masking fluid. So
Popping.
Well,
these pale areas need masking out so you can paint with abandon this lovely deep water and get all that character in with long brush strokes. If you're fussing around painting around these pale lilies, it'll look a bit of a mess. So it's a good thing to try. You can use masking fluid, or you can use bits of masking tape stuck on if you want to cut out shapes.
Oh, God.
no, masking fluid.
Masking fluid.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's not essential, but it will be useful on the day. If you haven't got any, we'll think of a way around it. So we'll go for that. I'm going to make the fish a bit smaller, and I'm going to make the water not all the same dull colour. So we'll bring some depth into the water. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Really good. Well done, everybody.
Thank you. Very
Hi,
Thanks,
everyone.
Tony.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tony.
Well done.
Thank you.
Bye, Bev.
Bye.
Bye, Melanie.
Bye, Tony.
Bye, Sally.
Thank you.
Well, that was good, Tony. Sorry I
did.
missed most of it.
All right. Well, I'll send it on. You'll have a go.
Yeah, I'll do it on Monday if it comes.
Okay.
by
I've
then.
got a scoop now, so
Yeah, okay. See you later.
yeah, indeed.
Take
See
care.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Barry. Might
Bye.
see you on Monday, Melanie. Annie. Maybe not. Bye, Annie.